representation of real numbers on a number line. We say the number line is the line consists of all positive and negative, including 0. That's called a number line. But now, when definitely you want to represent real numbers on number line, if now you look at here, I've written an example. Represents each of the following sets of real numbers on a number line. We talked much about inequalities. Solving inequalities, we did it. But sometime, at some points, you may be required to represent the inequalities that you have solved on the number line. That is to say, example, x is greater than 2. B, x is less or equal to 2. Here, negative 2 is less than or equal to x. And x is less than or equal to 3. D, we have 0 is less than x. And x is less than or equal to 2. Those are the questions that have been given from the book. Now, definitely, if now you want to write, you have to remember something. This is greater than. This is smaller than. This is less than or equal. And this one is greater than or equal. This one is represented by the circle, which is not shaded. The same applies to this one, is represented by the circle, which is not shaded one. But all these one are represented by the shaded circle. This is represented by circle which is not shaded, and this is represented by the circle which is not shaded too. Means what? The meaning of this one and the meaning of this one are a difference. This means that this is not included, but this is included. If now you start with number 2, then you show by the circle which is shaded one, you have shown that number 2 is included. If now you start with 2, now you show by this circle which is not shaded one. Number 2 is not included. So this is not included and this is included. Now, if now you say 2 is greater than or equal to x, or x is greater than or equal to 2, means 2 is also included. It is amount of the number that we are required to be there. And that's why now we have x is greater than 2. Now, always, example, let us see this one. We have a, it is x greater than 2. Now, we draw our number line here. Why do we show it with an arrow? An arrow, it is there to indicate you that this line is at infinity. It won't stop. Because when I say greater than 2, means 3, 4, 5, 6, and so forth. And that's why we show with an arrow, meaning that negative will go on and on and on till the way you decide. Positive will go on and on and on at infinity, means it has got no ends. There is no limit. And that's why we show it with an arrow, and therefore we divide our number line. The number line have got 0, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, and so forth. Then we have 1, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, then negative 4. Numbers to the right are positives. Numbers to the left are negative. Between those, we have 0. Now that is a number line. Number lines includes negatives and the positives. Numbers to the right are called positives. And numbers to the left are called negatives. If now that is the case, now we're talking about x is greater than 2. Now 2 is here. Now we write here 2 with a circle which is not included, which means that it is not included. Now, numbers greater than 2, namba kubwa kuliko 2, hauwezi ukaelekea huko. Kwa sababu upande huu ni ndogo kuliko 2. Moja ni ndogo kuliko 2, sifuri ni ndogo kuliko 2, hasi moja ni ndogo kuliko 2. X ni kubwa kuliko 2. Maanake namba zote ambazo ni kubwa kuliko 2 ndo tunaziongelea. And that's why we say X is greater than 2. Kwa kubwa kuliko 2 ni. Now numbers which are greater than 2 are located to the right. Now we draw this line, showing with an arrow. Why do we show it with an arrow? It is simply because we want to show it. Numbers which are greater than 2 at infinity. They go at infinity. Means they have no limit. Kwa here there is no limit. Manake tunaonesha mshale huu tukimaanisha kwamba namba kubwa kuliko 2 hatujaambiwa zinakomea ngapi. Ni kuanzia 3, 4, 5, 6 and so forth. Now we have represented these inequalities on number line. We have the other one, it is here. We have x is less than or equal to 2. If now I may draw, this is a number line. Let's say here we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. This is to show that x is less than 2. All numbers which are less than 2. You understand? Yes. Now, 2 is right here. But because we have equal sign here, also 2 is included. 2 is what? Included. To show that it is included, in mathematics we don't talk much. In mathematics we don't write a lot of words. We write numbers in terms of signs. We show signs. What tunaonesha alama. And that's why here, if you look at here, you will find I've drawn something called a circle, but it is shaded. Why? To show that 2 was included. And that's why we say x is less than or equal to what? To 2. Means 2 is included. Now, numbers which are less than 2, not to the right, it is to the left. Now, you write an arrow. Whether you stop here, or you stop here, or you stop here, whatever the case is. But this arrow indicates that now, numbers which are less than 2 are at infinite. Infinite means that no end. Now, this was B. We have C, which is equal now, we say -2 is less than or equal to x. And x is less than or equal to 3. Now, from right here also, you definitely can draw a line, a number line. But remember, all in all, number lines: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then here you have -1, -2, -3, -4. We have such kind of the things that we may definitely talk. If now this is the case, and we got it, we're talking about -2 and +3. These are limits. These are got what? Limit. We have only -2, which is right here. And then we have +3, which is right here. Then we join this dot right here. Means, if now we're talking about -2 and -3, now we're talking about the numbers which are existing between -2 and 3. Kwa hapa tunazungumzia tu namba ambazo ziko kati ya hasi 2 na chanya ngapi? Chanya 3. Kwa chanya 3 here, hasi 2 here. Sasa, what next here? You have -2 is less than or equal to what? X. That is to say, x is greater or equal to negative 2, but x is less than negative 3. X is supposed to be greater than negative 2, but less than 3. Manake, x inatakiwa iwe kubwa kuliko hasi mbili, lakini inatakiwa iwe ndogo kuliko 3. Manake, haitaki kuzidi 3, wala haitaki kupungua 2. That is the implication of this one. Means, x is greater than or equal to negative 2, or x is less than this one. If now we may write here, we will have said x is greater than or equal to negative 2, or x is less than or equal to 3. So we have two things. X is not supposed to be less than negative 2, and x is not supposed to be greater than 3. But now we have this one. Now this is to say negative 2 is included. And also here positive 3 is included. Now this is to say negative 2 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than or equal to 3. But here x is less or equal to 2. But here x is greater than 2. So this is the way deficit will represent. Here there is a limit. Hapa kuna mwisho. Manake mwisho ni hasi mbili, alafu huku mwisho ni chanya 3. Kwa tunaangalia namba hizi hapa tu. But here there is no limit. Now we have D. 0 is less than x, and x is less than or equal to 2. If now we can elaborate this one, now we say we have x is greater than 0, and or x is less than or equal to 2. So we have two things. Means what? X is supposed to be greater than 0, but it is less than what? 2. Now the limit is between 0 and what? And 2. If I may draw a number line, we have 0, 1, 2, 3 negatives. Numbers to the left are negative. Now we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, we have 5. Now this is to say 0 is excluded. It is not included. And here 2 is included. Why? Because of equal sign here. But because there is no equal sign here, 0 is not included. Kwa hiyo ikiwemo 2, lakini sifuri haimo. Kwa sababu nikisema kwamba taja namba kubwa kuliko sifuri, hauwezi ukaanza na sifuri. Lazima utaanza namba kubwa kuliko sifuri ni 1, 2, 3, 4 na kuendelea. Lakini hapa anakuambia namba kubwa kuliko sifuri, lakini ni ndogo au ni sawa na 2. Kwa nitajie namba kubwa kuliko sifuri, lakini ni ndogo kuliko 2. Kwa hiyo ni 1 na 2 yenyewe, kwa sababu na yenyewe ikiwemo, included. Now, how definitely we show using a number line? This is the way we show it. Now, 0 is there, but 0 is not included. And now we're talking about 0 and 2. Right here. 2 is here. But 2 is included. Now, definitely we join it. Now, this is 0 is less than x, and x is less than or equal to what? So, I've said, and I keep on saying, this is included, this is not included. Now, using a number line, somebody will come and see, now definitely you have shown this is included and this is not included. Now, let us see the other example. The other example, which is the last one, we have negative 2 is less than x, and x is less than or equal to 5. If now, definitely also you want to determine also that one. It's very simple. you draw your number line. Let us draw our number line. If now that is the case, we're talking about -2. It's right here. But -2 is not included. Now we're talking about +5. +5 is right here. Now this is included. Then we draw our number line. Now this is -2 is less than x, and x is less than or equal to 5. This is what we have. You have to understand which one is not included and which one is included. And how do we show this is included and this is not included? If now this is included, we show with the shaded circle. And that is what I've done there. Now, we have other things. We have seen how to represent the real numbers. Now we have other things called the absolute value. An absolute value of a number is the magnitude of the number without regard to it is the sign. We don't care about the sign. And there is no limit in terms of the sign. If now no limit, we consider about positive and the negative. And now, if now you say, and now it represented, it is represented by this sign, this bracket. These are brackets. Don't use the normal bracket and don't use the carried bracket. Don't dare to use that one. This is not absolute. So we definitely use this one. BC. Now, to remove this bracket, solution. If now this is the x is equal now to 5, you put here plus or minus. Kwa kama unataka kuondoa haya mabano, unaweka chanya na hasi hapa nyuma. Kwa hiyo hapa itakuwa ni positive x is equal to 5 or negative x is equal now to 5. Means you have to multiply by positive in order to remove this bracket. You have to multiply by negative in order to remove that bracket. Now positive times x you get positive 5. And then negative times x you get negative 5. Now here x is equal now to 5. Or you divide by negative. X is equal to -5. Now in short, x is equal to 5 or x is equal to -5. If now you've been told to solve and draw and represent your answer on number line, this is the way you would have done. If now solve and represent your answer on number line, if now that is the case, now here you have 5, then here you have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then you have -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now to represent this number, x is equal to 5. X is equal to 5 right here. And then x is equal to -5 right here. Now you have done. Now let us see the other example here. B, you have x plus 2. Absolute is equal now to 4. Solve and represent the value of number line. Now, solution. You only take that x plus 2, then that one is equal now to 4. Now here plus or minus. This will be multiplied to every term which are found in the bracket. This is absolute bracket. Now we say this times this one we have x plus 2 is equal now to 4. Or negative, we have -x, -2 is equal to 4. This negative, it is only multiplied to numbers which are present in the bracket in order to remove what? The bracket. Kwa hii inazidishwa tu za kwenye bracket. Usifanye kama tulivyokuwa tunafanya elimination method na substitution method kwamba tunazidisha kwa zote mpaka huko. Now here you have two equations. Now this is the x is equal now to 4 minus 2. Then negative x is equal now to 4 plus 2. Now x is equal to 2. Or negative x is equal to 6. Now here x is equal to negative 6. Because we divide by negative both times. Tunagawanya kwa hasi kila upande. Therefore, x is equal to 2 or x is equal to negative 6. Now we've been told we have to draw our answer on number line. Now drawing this on number line, you draw a number line. You have to represent that one on number line. You have 0, 1, 2, 3. Then negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4, negative 5, negative 6, negative 7. Now, x is equal to 2. Is equal to what? 2. 2 is here. It is 2 exactly. Then, x is equal to negative 6. It is negative 6 exactly. Now, we have x is equal to negative 6 exactly. And also, we have 2 positive exactly. That's how we determine it. Now, we have solved the absolute question. Then, we have represented our answer on number line. Now, let us see the other example. C, you have x is greater than or equal to 2. Removing absolute this one, absolute brackets. Now, solution. We say it is now positive or negative. Then it is x. Is greater than or equal to what? 2. Now, this is to say x as positive is greater or equal to what? 2. Or negative x. This one is equal to 2. Now here, x is greater or equal to what? 2. Or you divide by negative. But remember something, when we were talking about inequalities, I told you, if you divide this by negative, this sign will change. Now, if now you divide by negative both times, now x, it will become x is less than or equal to what? Negative 2. Now, you have x is less than 2 or x is less or equal to what? Negative 2. You can draw that one. Now, if now you decide to draw that one, you have this one. You have 0, 1, x is greater. We have x is greater than or equal to what? 2. Means we're talking about 2. 2 is right here. You understand? But because that is included, now we shade our circle. Now greater than 2 going this way. Are we together? Yes. Now this is x greater than or equal to what? 2. Then we have negative 2. We have negative 2. Negative 2 is here. Less than. It is less than or equal. Now this 2 is included. You understand? Because of the equal sign. Then going this way. Less than negative 2. This number less than negative 2. These are the number greater than what? 2. This is the way we draw. Let us see the other example here. We have this one. X then less than or equal to 4. Now, if now this one we have positive or negative, x is less than 4. Means what? It is now here you have x is equal to is less than what? Less or equal to 4. Or x negative is less than or equal to 4. Now x is less than 4. Or x is greater or equal to what? Negative 4. Why? Because we divide by negative both times. If now we divide by negative both times, this sign will change. Now you have x is less than or equal to 4, or x is greater than or equal to negative 4. Also we can combine this one. We can put them together. Now we say x is less than 4. But x is greater than negative 4. Now we say negative 4 is less than or equal to x. Means x is greater than negative 4, x is greater than negative 4. And x is less than or equal to 4. X is greater or equal to what? To negative 4. X is less than or equal to 4. Now, we can represent this on number line. Now, we draw a number line here. Now, we're talking about negative 4. All these are negatives. Numbers to the left. Now, we have this one. We have negative 4, and then we have positive 4. But all in all are included because of the equal sign. Negative 4 is included. And also positive 4 is included. Now we join it. Therefore, we have negative 4 is less than or equal to x, and x is less than or equal to 4. So we have solved this one, then we have represented our answer on number line. So this is the way we do it. But all in all, when you're talking about absolute value, what next? You have to put plus or minus in order to remove those brackets. If you won't do that one, that is not absolute. Lazima weke kujumlisha ama kutoa, alafu unaizidisha kwa namba zote ambazo zinapatikana kwenye mabano. Negative 2 minus x. Absolute value now greater than 1. This is the answer. Now, solution. We have negative 2, negative x, 1. If now you look at this one, you put here plus or what? Minus. Now this time this one you have negative 2, negative x is greater than 1. Or negative times negative, positive 2. Then negative times negative, positive what? X is greater than 1. Now, this one, we have negative x is greater than 1. This is negative, becomes what? Positive 2. Now, negative x is greater than 3. And here, you have x is greater than 1. This is positive. When it is taken to the other side, it becomes what? Negative. Now, negative is greater than negative 1. But remember here, we are not looking for the value of negative x. We are looking for the value of x. We divide it by negative both times. But if you divide by negative both times, this sign will change. Ukigawanya tu kwa hasi sehemu zote, hii alama inafanyaje? Inabadilika. Kwa hapa itakuwa ni x is less than what? Negative 3. Alafu then x is greater than negative 1. Sasa hebu tuchole mstari wetu wa namba na tuone tunaweza tukaziunganisha. Tumeambiwa x is less than negative 3 and x is greater than negative 1. Kwa hiyo zinaunganisha kwamba x inatakiwa iwe greater than negative 3. Lakini x hiyo inatakiwa iwe less than negative 3. Kwa greater than negative 3 tuone kama tunaziunganisha. Si ndio? Haya, tunachora mstari wetu. Let us see if now we can join it. Now, x is negative greater than negative 1. Greater than negative 1 here. Greater than negative 1. Greater than negative 1 to the right. And this is not included. And x is less than negative 3. Negative is 3 is here. Less than negative 3. You cannot put them together. Kwa sababu hazimit. Kwa hii inaenda huku, this is x is less than negative 3. And this is x greater than negative 1. Now you see the difference of this one. Now if you look at here, x is less than negative 1. And x is x is greater than negative 1. And here, x is less than negative 3. Less than to the left. Greater than to the right. You have to remember something. Less than forward to the right. And less than more forward to the left. Now, this is to the left and this is to the right. Now, they cannot meet because the one is going to the right and the other is going to the left. Now, they have no place where they can meet together. And that's why we draw it separately. But if now you came back to this example, if now I can explain why did we join it. Now, if you look at here, x is greater than negative what? 4. Now, negative 4 was here, but it was included because of the equal sign. If you look back here, you find negative 4 is here. Now, to the what? To the right, because of greater than. Now, 4, x is less than 4. 4 is here. Now, if we may draw, but also this 4 is included because of the equal sign. Now, we say less than, we draw the line to the left. Now, less than to the left, and greater than to the right. Now, a line to the left, that is less than, and a line to the right, that is greater than. Now, you can see, this one is moving to the right, and this one is moving to the left. Now, this is the limit. Why now we put them together? They have meet. Now, if they meet, they produce something called a limit. They give out the limit. Now, this one will be moving. But if now it is moving, it was not supposed to go beyond this point. Because x is not supposed to be greater than 4. And now if the other side is moving, it is not supposed also to go beyond of this point. Why? Because it is not supposed to be less than negative 4. Now, in short now, it is not supposed to be less than negative 4, and it is not supposed to be greater than 4. Now, and that's why now we produce the limit. Na ndio maana sasa yenyewe tukaijoin and become a 9. And a single line. Right? Now, this is how we solve absolute value.